we start, there is some information I would like to share about this seminar. There will be 3 speakers who will present the material. The first speaker will start the presentation first. After that, we go to the Q&A session for the first speaker. Continue to the second speaker that will present the material. After finish, we go to the Q&A session for the second speaker, and also with the third speaker, we will listen to the presentation. After that, we go to the Q&A for the third speaker, and the speaker has time limit around 45 until 1 hours maximum for each session for the presentation. Jadi Bapak Ibu, nanti kita akan mendengarkan terlebih dahulu satu persatu speaker pembicara akan memaparkan materinya, kemudian disusul Q&A, dan juga kemudian yang kedua dan ketiga sampai dengan selesai. Baiklah Bapak Ibu, segera saja kita akan mulai seminar pagi hari ini. Ladies and gentlemen, I will introduce our first speaker. She's an author, speaker, leadership, and high-performance organization designer. Queensland, Australia, has experience encompasses working with leading national and international companies as well as government organizations to identify and achieve their future business needs. She achieved this by facilitating, developing, and implementing strategies to build and strengthen their human systems and relationship capabilities and intellectual capital through cultural and behavioral change, as well as leadership and relationship development. She has been working with the CEO of Master Electrician Australia, MEA. She conducted a nationwide business analysis using an ideal model to identify the future direction of the company. She also collaborating with the CEO of Sunshine Coast Airport. She facilitated the process and supported the implementation of the Vision 2020. And there are still a lot of achievements and experiences that she has that I cannot mention one by one because of time constraints. With the title, Integrating an Innovation Mindset into Strategy and Culture, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Brenda Jamnik. Hello, Dr. Brenda Jamnik.
Good morning.
Good morning, Doctor, and afternoon in Australia, right?
Yes, it is. It's 12:30 in the afternoon here, but it is wonderful that we can do this across time zones.
Okay, are you ready for the presentation?
I am ready whenever you are.
Time is yours.
Okay, so will you prefer that the slides that I have sent be conducted with you, or would you prefer that I put them up from here?
Okay.
Which do you want me to do the slides, or will you do the slides?
You, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Please, 1 minute.
Okay, we're waiting.
Yeah. It's not letting me do this. This is the one thing that it doesn't happen. Are you seeing my screen?
Okay, it's no problem.
Is my screen showing you now?
Wait, not yet. Yes. Okay, we can see the PowerPoint maybe. Yes, okay.
You can see it now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we go to the next slide, is this being controlled by me or by you? I'm sorry.
It's, pardon me?
I'm just, maybe I will just, there we go, thank you.
Okay.
Integrating innovation as a mindset into strategic culture. COVID, our friend COVID forced a change on business and government and in the way business is done. It has pushed the focus to flexible working arrangements and increased digital engagement. With digitally enabled remote and hybrid working arrangements, leaders are under increased scrutiny. Expectations have shifted and with this, the accelerated pace of digital enablement through digital transformation. Strategic leadership for digital governance requires a review of the ministry's culture and program delivery strategies. Review of the strategies and process requires who and what in what format. It is requiring new insight and a new skill set for the leadership teams. If, and this is critically important, that if the most senior in the ministry and the executive team are not switched into digital engagement and included with the transformation project at a strategic level, then the cascading effect of digital adoption and enablement is set to fail. Technology is the enabler, not the end game. Balancing employee well-being and purpose with performance through self-determination and impactful work is the focus for leaders to ensure that distributed workforces are motivated and healthy. People and organisational culture challenges across a distributed workforce invariably underpin the success or failure of strategic leadership. Effective digital engagement is the catalyst to ensuring staff can connect, clarify, and deliver. The delivery methodology of strategy will also shift. Remember, it can be the same strategy. It is the expectations, delivery mode, and user interfaces that may look different. Start by understanding if your current strategic vision is solid or does it need to be reviewed. Begin with a clear vision of who you want to be involved with reviewing or redeveloping your strategy. Identify the strategic and operational factors impacted by increased technology demands, and then identify the individuals who will bring the depth of skill and knowledge that will bring the strategy into action. Diversity of thought is important in this process, as is a transparent, supportive, and engaging ministry culture. Create an environment where people feel it is okay not to have all the answers, while drawing on the wisdom that they have to ask the right questions. All parties involved should have a deep, natural sense of curiosity about delivery of the vision and the digital technology. And they need to understand the importance of the interdependence of strategy, data usability, and the outcomes that you are trying to achieve. To guarantee that there is an outcome-focused process, ensure there is clarity of roles, responsibilities, objectives, and key result areas. This is because the implementation and usability have a long time span, and therefore they need a consistent approach to development, implementation, and ongoing performance monitoring. It is essential. Begin by recognising that the planning processes and outcomes, the needs in relation to this, are linked to the purpose that you are serving. Understand this purpose in the context of your user environment and your risk appetite, where the innovation is in relation to that appetite. Experimentation is invariably linked to innovation, as it should be a core part of strategy. It is important to acknowledge the risk framework and to try and to fail, as this puts you in a position to innovate successfully into the future, as there are lessons to be learned. Lessons not only from the failure, but also the processes that lead to the failure. Innovations won't be effective unless they are designed for and by the people who are using them. The people factor cannot be ignored with digital adoption. Technology is the enabler. However, people are the heart of the digital transformation and user experience. There is a codependency. How information is collected and how it is used through artificial intelligence is important for the ministry. What is equally important is having the right mindset and building a culture that empowers staff and employees to use the digital tools in a way that is easy and works for them, while achieving the ministry's agreed outcomes. If digital access and operability is difficult, the engagement and application will be equally, if not more difficult. To cultivate a culture that supports and embeds innovation, consider what is in place in the ministry that promotes and inspires innovation. Check if these are aligned with your operating values and philosophies. If they are not aligned, then success is not likely to happen. It is therefore useful to approach this by understanding there are 4 types of digital competencies in the governance space: digital thinkers, digital disruptors, digital leaders, and digital transformers. Each of these 4 competencies contributes in a unique way to the strategic input and subsequent enablement. The digital thinker is a native who understands the environment due to their depth of experience. There is a strategic thinking in relation to the potential of the digital technology, as well as the large-scale transformation and enablement. This person will have very little direct interaction with the digital process as a user. The digital disruptor has a deep understanding of digital, as this team member is more likely to understand a single product or system rather than the whole conglomerate. This person is likely to have less general management knowledge. However, their skills to help bridge the gap in the new offerings and the application of data analytics is their value add. Your digital leader has their main experience in the traditional environment rather than a digital environment. This team member will understand the strategy to leverage the technology. This is in the face of disruption through experience in business enablement and through change strategies. And then there's your digital transformer, a person who does not have a high level of seniority and is fairly digitally astute due to their expertise in leading and participating in transformations in other areas, in the ministry or other businesses. This expertise is valuable in understanding the enablement process from a user perspective. It is important to understand that leadership is a mindset. It is not a position. It is the mindset and the success of integrating innovation into the strategy that lies not in digitisation, but in the true transformation and enablement that digitisation can facilitate. Purpose is therefore the starting point of any innovation. This requires a conscious effort and attention to using technology to enable a process or experience that will achieve a purpose-driven outcome more effectively and efficiently. The more you travel on an innovation journey, the more risks will emerge. Investing time and funds into understanding trends and the impact of these on your strategic direction will significantly inform you of the potential risks. It is, however, difficult to ask your staff to be innovative and expect them to act when innovation is not their usual way or approach to work. For many, being innovative and expressing different thoughts is a difficult or foreign way of thinking that they are not comfortable with. They therefore may have a low level of self-confidence and sometimes even experience anxiety or fear in proposing innovations. There is a useful framework that can support the innovative thinking process. It is called design thinking. Can I have my next slide, please? Consider the value of design thinking as a framework. as this will support the shift to the innovative processes through a methodology that combines creative and analytical thinking and capitalises on understanding the proposal, exploring its value, and materialising it when the value has been identified. Design thinking typically encourages people to think innovatively with a framework, and it requires the team to empathise with the users and look at it from their perspective. What purpose does the innovation serve? How to ensure it is an easy process for the users to adopt? Define the user's problems, insights, and needs, and combine these with your personal insights. Ideate this by challenging assumptions and analysing the ideas for innovative solutions, ensuring that you connect both with the purpose and the risk framework. Prototype or pilot the solutions to represent an aspect of the idea that will become your usual product. Ensure the pilot is with the users and select 2 types of users to try this. And this is quite critical for innovative in the digital space. Firstly, select those who are likely to adopt it and who are able to easily navigate the challenges it might present. Secondly, and most importantly, select those who are not likely to easily adopt it and who have difficulty in using systems and frequently identify the challenges. These people will allow you to be able to progress a lot quickly. Test the solutions for the purpose for which they are being created, not the purpose you think they are serving. Understand, come back to the purpose they are being created, and having consideration for the usability and outcomes that you want them to achieve. This is the same as the pilot or prototype, but with a larger group. And always question, does this achieve the purpose that we set out to achieve? If so, how do we know that it does? And if not, what is not aligned? Then you document for continuous improvement, and then you implement the solution. The rollout phase, where the purpose is being implemented, and the commencement of the achievement of the innovative goal. Using design thinking as a mindset and the framework enables a person with the initial innovative thought or proposal to think through the whole process, to understand what may be required. It also enables them to build knowledge, skills, and importantly, ownership to achieving the outcomes. On my next slide, please. Following the thinking framework, the second critical thing in innovation after purpose is to focus on being user-centric. This is the basis for continuous improvement based on a balance of feedback from multiple users. This way, innovation will form you if the purpose, strategy, and product focused are aligned and achieving what it is meant to achieve. During the process, regularly ask yourself these questions. What purpose does this innovation serve? Do the benefits outweigh the limitations? How does it align and contribute to our strategic intent? And importantly, how will we know if we've been successful? Innovation is about advancement through thinking differently. What is important is to ensure that it serves a purpose that aligns with your strategic intent and that is clearly communicated and clearly understood. The success of innovation is a direct result of the leadership provided, which is a direct result of the leadership mindset. Remember that strategic leadership is the application of mindset that is observed through the actions and the artifacts. It is not a title. Strategic leaders recognise that leadership is not a program, it is the culture of the way things are done around here. Understand if you want to implement innovations, organisations don't transform. It is the people that do. It is more than intention. It is about strategic alignment, action, and accountability. Remember that results come from multiple small actions, not necessarily one big jump. And understand that small changes can have a large exponential impact, because acceptance for the need for change is the most difficult hurdle. The mindset of acceptance will enable the development and implementation, which is simply running a marathon. Awareness, acceptance, and action. Next slide, please. Remember, however, not everybody is positively digitally engaged. From a leadership perspective, remember, not all people are positively digitally engaged, and therefore digitising everything can contribute to digital exhaustion. This has been most evidenced through the height of the recent pandemic, where there were phrases that we heard here in Australia that said, "Not another Zoom meeting. Can we please delay because I'm all Zoomed out?" Or even, "Can we please have this via telephone?" Exhaustion does not feed innovation. Curiosity feeds innovation. The key to supporting curiosity is being risk intelligent. This means asking the key questions, which are often the hard questions. Understand your strategic leadership focus and your digital maturity by asking yourselves each 6 to 12 months questions in the 4 following areas: skill set, insight, mindset, and actions. Skill set. Ask yourself, to what extent is our appetite for innovation balanced by strategic risk management skills and analytical and critical thinking skills? Do we have enough deep understanding of how the technology will actually add value, the impact on the people effectiveness and efficiency, and the ministry's strategy? Are we actually set up for success, or is this an assumption? Ask who in the team brings commercial, strategic, and governance skills, and to what depth, and is this sufficient for our needs? In relation to insight, can I have my next slide, please? We have to set up our challenges for thinking. What is the depth of knowledge of how the technology drives innovation and our working models, engagement, and operational efficiencies? Question, does any member of our team or across the ministry have a sound understanding of what the experience in leading digital enablement and transformation is? If so, who is it? And if not, how did we develop or acquire it? To what extent does the team understand current technology and emerging trends? And how do they play into the ministry's strategy? When thinking about mindset, ask yourself these questions. How often is innovation incorporated into purpose discussions in the meeting agenda? And to what extent is it given sufficient time for discussion and analysis? To what extent is it understood that our digital strategy is integral to the overall ministry strategy? Or is it seen and treated as an adjunct? Is the digital literacy that we have in place sufficient to meet our digital strategy and enablement needs? If not, what can be done about it? Who do we have as members of our digital team that are strong advocates of customer-centric digital enablement? And how do we know they are the right people? And what strategies can we put in place to build a larger and stronger mindset pool? In relation to actions, ask yourself these questions. How easy is it for our team members and users to engage in professional development to increase their personal digital literacy? And what needs to be done about this and by whom? Are there tech-savvy peers available for immediate support and mentoring? And how easy are these people identifiable, accessible, and easy to communicate with? And do we have an environment and culture where all ideas and questions are welcome and given due diligence? How do our teams know this? How do our teams connect with us? Mindset is just as, if not more important than any process or tool. If you think it can happen, then it will. If you think it can't happen, then you won't. Innovation, driven by curiosity, stems from the psychologically safe work environment. A workplace culture where it is safe for speaking up with ideas, questions, concerns, and importantly, mistakes. This creates a culture where each person feels their voice is valued, which in turn builds confidence, leading to the motivation to innovate, put suggestions forward, and rather than being scared of reprimand or failure, it is a learning process. Next slide, please. Remember never to stop learning. Learning is a lifelong journey. It is the personal beliefs held by each individual staff member about their capabilities that foster or impede your progress, and the support from leaders that can have a positive impact on this belief. Developing a no-blame growth mindset can empower staff, counter the fear of failure, and increase the appetite for innovation. Use failures as a point of innovation growth and learning, not for ridicule. When people believe that they can and understand that it takes effort to achieve, along with knowing that they have key leadership support, they will build a self-fulfilling approach to growth and innovation, provided that the organisation, the ministry, fosters a genuine culture of support. The passion for stretching staff beyond what they think possible and sticking to it, especially when it's not going well, is the hallmark of strategic leadership and an innovation mindset that allows people to thrive in the most challenging time. In summary, I will say that strategic leadership is about being the lighthouse and setting the direction with a sound culture that fosters curiosity and contributes to innovation. Public recognition is the best reward for success. Team assessment, learning, and introducing new approaches from what went wrong are the best rewards for failures. Celebrate both, as they both contribute to the growth and resilience of the staff at the ministry. Key to implementation is to understand and accept that everybody will have a different level of skill, insight, mindset, commitment, and motivation. Meet and work with them at the level they are currently working at, and recognise that your support and encouragement are the foundation for their growth and the success for all that you strive to achieve. And remember, never stop learning. Thank you for your participation and listening so intently. I'm happy to take questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Brenda Jamnik. Such an informative and interesting presentation. Dr. Brenda?
Yes.
The question is, when we have innovation or idea, we don't have fun or some to charge. How to replace it? The fun is when we have no fun, when we have innovation and idea. What is the tips and strategy maybe?
Are you saying when you have an idea, there are no funds or finances to put it a strategy? Then it may then have funds because you are serving something that is in your strategy, which is then what you are set up to achieve. So the innovation is about what you're trying to achieve with the industry. It is just achieving the outcome differently. So this is one case of why that need.
It can be substitute if we don't have fun, maybe.
That's right. So this is where you're saying what purpose that serves, because if it is serving a purpose that is in your strategy, then the strategy will have should have budget to achieve your strategy. So if you're serving part of that purpose, you are just serving that strategy in a different way. So it might be it is serving it to be able to reach more people. It is serving it. So if you give me an example of, I'll give you an example of an innovation that we had on one of our projects. So what happened is there was no money for extra expansion, but we went and looked at what other people did in other areas. And this was actually a construction job, and there was no more land. They needed more land. There was no more land and no more money for the land. What could they do? They needed more pipes, more cables. So they went and looked at other industries, and they looked at what was happening in the gas industry. And then what they did was, instead of getting more land, they put all the pipes above the ground. They built up a bridge above the ground. So what happens is they didn't need to buy the land. So think about how other organizations, other ministries, other people have used it. And so what is it going to serve that need? So it might be to save money. It might be a better innovation than what they've already identified in the strategy.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Dr. Brenda.
Can I just say the other thing is in a mindset, instead of saying we don't have the money, say, how can we make this happen? If you have a mindset that says, how can I have it make it happen? You will look for ways to make it happen. If you say there is no money, you will stop looking at how to make it happen.
Yes, doctor. Like positive thinking, right?
Thank you for Ms. Brenda. My question is, how to be a good leader in a complex society in the Indonesian government? Because you know what is the right can go wrong in a complex society in a village with a strong culture. Thank you.
Please,
okay.
Doctor.
Everybody has challenges, whether they are in a complex culture, a democratic culture, whatever culture they are in, they will always have complex problems. What is important is to understand what is the problem you're trying to solve, whose problem is it, and what is the best solution. Now, when you're trying to understand what is the best solution, it is important to understand who the solution will impact. So is the best solution one that keeps the political area happy, but not the department or the people? Is the best solution for the department and the people and not the political arena? So if we come back to my answer to the previous question, what's important, and this is why innovation and mindset is important, we always tend to look at things and say, this is a difficult roadblock. What we need to say is, how can I sell this to the people who do not want it, who do not understand it, and have them understand what is in it that is good for them? Is it good for their reputation? Is it good for their public image? Is it good for their staff? So understand that it is not the same message for everybody. So the message for your leader about the program is going to be different to the message for your team. Understand that. But what is important is that your messages are consistent with the purpose of what you're trying to achieve. So if you understand the consistency of the purpose of what you're trying to achieve, then you will have everybody aligned.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Brenda.
Miss Brenda, the question is, she worked in the hospital, government hospital, and then they have innovation and then change the the working there. And the question is how to change the mindset of the staff of the hospital with the new innovation that they change. How to change the mindset? Okay, please.
So the question is more, I think, that they don't understand that then people who have to put in the new way don't understand properly the benefits of the new way. So if you start by explaining to them the benefits of the new way, why it is better, why is it better, and then you ask, don't tell them that immediately they have to do it. You ask them to try it and then while they are trying it, and this is when in the design thinking model where it said pilot and then roll out. So what you're doing is you're asking people to try it and tell you what why they think it doesn't work. Because then what they're doing is they're applying it in their mindset. They don't know, they're not saying I have to do it. In their mindset, they're saying I am trying this. But what you're actually doing is getting them to try it so they understand they have to do it and they haven't been involved in that process. They are more likely to not want to do it. So ask them if they can help you, try it. And then you want to hear from them how good or bad it was, because then they think they're part of that innovation journey.
Okay. Okay. Because the time is over, Dr. Brenda, we have to end this discussion.
Okay.
Thank you very much once again for Dr. Brenda Jamnik. We hope this is not our last.
I am happy for people if they do send you questions. You can send me those questions. I am happy to answer them if they send them to me.
Yes, we let the participant to write in the chat column, and then the staff will note it and give it to you. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you very much once again, Miss Brenda, Dr. Brenda Jamnik from Australia.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sampai ketemu lagi.
Izin pamit.
Terima kasih Pak Cecep, terima kasih banyak atas bantuannya.
Terima kasih Mbak Rupi.
Ya.
Terima kasih Bapak Ibu.